Sinners, help!
Hello, people of God. You are welcome to the Saints and the Church as we reflect on the readings of the fourth Sunday of Lent here in. Dear friends in Christ, the fourth Sunday of Lent is known as the Latter Sunday from the Latin word which means rejoice. The readings of the fourth Sunday call us to reflect on our sight, blindness, light, and darkness. The readings invite us to open our heart to the light of God that illumines the darkness and restores the blindness of our heart, through which we have clear vision and the right sense of judgment. The book of Samuel reminds us that God is primarily concerned with what is within and not merely outward appearance. The prophet Samuel, on seeing Eliab, the eldest son of Jesse, thought surely the Lord's anointed. But God reminds him not to look at appearance but the heart. This shows how blind we can be in our judgment and how we need God's help. Psalm 22 reminds us that in God is our strength and our shield. Even though I walk in the valley of darkness, no evil will I fear. While St. Paul, in his second reading, acknowledges us through his letter to the Ephesians of our responsibilities as children of light. He encourages us to make the choice of light over darkness. Live as children of the light, for light produces every kind of goodness and righteousness and truth. John, in his Gospel, presents us with a marvelous story of the man born blind whom Jesus killed. John tells us that Jesus spat on the ground, made a face with his finger, put this over the eyes of the blind man, and said to him, "Go and wash in the pool of Siloam," a name that means sent. We are sent from our state of weakness, brokenness, and blindness to a state of healing and restoration. The man goes, watches, and could see.
I can see.
This blind man represents humanity.
I can see.
We all are born into sin, though with no fault of us, yet we are made new creation by the saving power of Christ. Jesus' act of using clay on the eyes of the man is a divine act.
Do you believe in the Son of Man?
For as God fashioned the old man from clay, so does Jesus gives new life to the blind man by anointing his eyes with clay.
You're seeing him.
The story of the blind man is that of humanity from darkness to light. Jesus is the light of the world. He is the light through which we see.
I believe.
John uses the motif of light and darkness
Lord,
to depict good and evil. Jesus dispels the physical darkness in the life of the blind man. So do our encounter with Christ brings light to those dark parts of our lives and give us clear vision and right sense of judgment. The encounter between Jesus and the blind man establishes faith and conversion. And so he recognizes Jesus as a prophet. In giving sight to the blind man, Jesus reshapes him as his disciple. Jesus also teaches us the necessity of opening the eyes of our mind by faith and warns us that those who assume to see the truth are often blind, while those who acknowledge their blindness are given clear vision. The voluntary healing of this blind man is a proof that Jesus cares for our well-being. He cares most especially for the sick, the weak, the broken, and the marginalized. Jesus, in this healing encounter, just like the encounter with the woman at the well, transcends culture and religious barrier of the Sabbath to restore the sight of the man born blind. Jesus always transcends all barriers to bring us to new life.
Master,
Finally, friends in Christ,
I can see.
today's readings call us for
I can
conversion
see.
of heart. From a prejudiced way of perceiving things to God's way of thinking and judging. From darkness to light. From evil to goodness. from blindness to restoration of sight.
Do you believe in the Son of Man?
We can only encounter this process of
Who is
conversion
he, Master?
when we first acknowledge our blindness,
May
our
believe in
fault,
him.
and our sinful nature. Like Samuel in the first reading and the blind man
It
in
is
the
he that is
Gospel.
speaking to you.
Then would these words of St. Paul make meaning to us? Wake up from your sleep, rise from the dead,
Lord,
and Christ will shine. May the good Lord grant us the eyes of faith and illumine the darkness of our heart, that we may see clearly and give right judgment in all we do. Thank you for